Hey there, my friend. This is Paul with PipelineMoney.com, and in this video, we're going to talk about how to overcome objections in sales over the phone using real magic. And if you decide to pay attention and watch this video all the way through, you'll discover a shockingly simple strategy for overcoming objections on the phone. If you're building a home business, this can dramatically improve your ability to close more sales, earn more income, and build the life of freedom you desire. This works without the phone as well. In case you don't know me, my name is Paul Hutchings, and I went from living in a single wide mobile home to retiring at 40 and helping to build a company that's doing over $200K per month. And of course, we've got a FTC disclaimer. You can see that on the screen. Average affiliates can expect to earn $347 with this business. For full earnings disclosure, visit income.thehba.net. So here's how we do this. This is Real Magic Lesson 1. A word is nothing more than a thought manifested into reality. By listening to your prospect's words, you can touch them with your wand and transform them, thereby transforming the thought in your prospect's mind into one that helps them see the value of what you're selling, so they'll be more likely to buy. And here are the 4 steps. So I'm just going to run through these and then I'll share how each of these work as well as give you examples. So step number 1 is we want to redefine the negative or limiting words into something more positive or resourceful. An objection is just a thought that's stopping someone from moving forward. So we're going to redefine that stopping thought into a move forward thought. The second step that we can take is reassign negative or limiting cause-effect relationships into something more positive or resourceful. The third thing to be aware of is that the underlying intention is to move the focus off of the stopping point and on to the path forward. That's going to be the goal in this process. And then the fourth thing to be aware of is how to transition out of the question or the magic wand phrase that we use to respond to the objections. We want to use the magic wand phrase, and then we want to transition on to the next step. So let's go through each of these one by one. Step number 1, redefining. So we want to redefine the negative or limiting words into something more positive or resourceful. And here's an example. Prospect says it's too expensive. So we hear that, we realize that's a thought expressed in words, and we can pull out our magic wand to touch those words. And then we can say, so I hear you saying that you want to get maximum value in return for the money you invest. Is that right? So what we've done is we've taken what they've said and we've repeated it back to them, but we repeat it back in a way that opens up a better path forward, that opens up better meaning, that opens up more useful ways to look at this phrase. So that's redefining. The next step would be to reassign. And this is where we can reassign negative or limiting cause-effect relationships into something more positive or resourceful. So someone says this is a scam. They have a reason for thinking that this is a scam. So there's some sort of cause that's leading them to the conclusion that this is a scam. So what we could say, we could touch that sentence and we could say, is there a chance that maybe it's not that this business isn't a legitimate way to grow an income, but just that you haven't been allowed to see the big picture of how it all works yet? And we just ask that question. And you find yourself listening to that question and sort of having a desire to respond, yeah, there is a chance, right? There is a chance. This is the magical wand of words, right? And now one thing that you can notice here is that we took this as a scam and then we said, is there a chance that maybe it's not? We could say a scam, but what are we doing? We're redefining the word. We're transforming the word. So we won't say, is there a chance this isn't a scam? We'll say, is there a chance that maybe it's not that this business isn't a legitimate way to grow an income? So we've said that this business is not a legitimate way to grow an income, which would be the same thing as saying scam. Or is it the same thing? Because when we say it this way, the mind pictures a business that is a legitimate way to grow an income, even though we're sort of saying the same thing. See how we've touched these words, we've transformed them, repeating them back, but now all of a sudden they sound transformed. They sound more positive. They sound more magnetic. So continuing on here, is there a chance that maybe it's not that this business isn't a legitimate way to grow an income, but just that you haven't been able to see the big picture of how it all works yet? So then the next step here is transitioning. So once we've taken our wand and touched the words and changed the meaning into a more positive, resourceful one, then we want to transition. And recall back to step number 3, the underlying intention is to move focus off of the stopping point and on to the path forward. So let's say your prospect says, I'm not as good on video as you. And this is something that's stopping them from moving forward because maybe they perceive that you're really good at video. They're not. They can't be successful because they're not as good on video as you. So you could say, do you think that maybe it's not that you're not as good at video as me, but that you haven't had the chance to practice as much as me? And that it might be possible that with practice, you could be even better than me? And then here's where we're going to get to the transition. So we've said this statement, and hopefully if we've done our job well, the prospect is thinking to themselves, yeah, that is possible. And yeah, maybe with practice, I could become even better than you. So now that we have them in this yes state by using the wand of our words, we want to transition to the next step. So this is an example of a transition. What if I could give you some tips on how to get really good at video so you can create the success and impact you want to create? If I could do that, would you be open to learning more? Now all of a sudden the prospect is saying yes rather than I don't want to get started because I'm not good on video. See how magical this is? I really, really love this stuff. So here's how you do it. Patterns. Here are the different patterns you can apply. You hear someone say something that's stopping them from moving forward, and you can use these patterns. 1, maybe it's not that, and then you repeat the stopping thing, but rephrase it in more of a positive light, but it's that, and then you can reassign the meaning to something more empowering here in this blank. Another way to do it, is it possible that it's not this, but this? Do you think that it might not be this, but this? Is there a chance that maybe it's not this, but this instead? And notice we're asking these in the form of questions. So we're using the wand of our words to ask questions that are transforming, redefining, and transitioning to the next step. So to cover this in 2 steps, the 2-step magical reframe, step number 1, ask the question using one of the patterns, addressing what we heard from the prospect, and then step 2, transition to the next step. This, my friend, is how you can magically transform thoughts of no into thoughts of yes, overcome objections in sales on the phone, or overcome objections in sales via video, audio, email, or whatever form of media you choose to use it with. If you decide to practice what you've just learned, you may find yourself attracting and closing more sales than you ever thought possible. Do you see the power in this? Can you see yourself using this information? Comment yes below if so, and no if this hasn't been helpful to you. If you got value from this video, please like the video or subscribe to my channel so you won't miss out on valuable tips in the future that can help you build more freedom in your life. And you can subscribe to my channel by visiting pipelinemoney.com/YouTube. My vision is to help free as many people as possible using principle-centered strategies where everyone wins, no one loses, and the world gets better along the way. If this is something you resonate with and want to learn more from me, please consider subscribing to my email list at pipelinemoney.com. This is the ultimate way to stay connected, get my best content, and not miss out on what I teach in the future. As a bonus, you'll also have a chance to see the unique and revolutionary business model I've created to help people obtain freedom even faster. Thanks for watching, and whatever you do, always go for your dreams. Bye for now.